Hello. So I just been sitting here and just talking a lot with the Lord, and so I want to talk about generational curses. And since I started my journey, I knew the Lord called me through going through a little bit of my journey to break generational curses and to start generational blessings, and to change it. So I just want to talk about that. And a lot of people we go through in our lives, and every human being, whether it could generational curses could be, so many different things. It doesn't just have to be like having kids at a young age, or having being abused, toxic alcoholism or drugs, or generational pass on same habits passed on from this generation, right? And then they have kids, and then they pass on to you guys, and then they have kids, and they pass on to their kids. So I want to talk a little bit about that, because I know I'm called, and I've been going through it, and it's not been easy, and God has chosen me and anointed me, where He teaches you, anointing me, He teaches you what you need to know to help others. And so this generational thing that I've been breaking is talking about, that we have these things that happen to us in our life, but we don't have to have them pass it on to our kids. We could stop that. That's what breaking these generational curses is that you're paving the way, which just seems hard. Like spiritually, I'm breaking it, so I'm like going through this, breaking inside. It's birthing something, new, but it's hard. I'm like, I'm in tears, and I'm like, what's going on, and like, what's going on in my body. So, but in the spiritual realm, I'm breaking these chains, because I'm doing the opposite. What was meant to go this way, my spirit's going this way, and so I've been going through this a lot, you know what I mean, like, and breaking these curses, and it's not an easy, and so, but because this is new to me, and so I just wanted to talk about, these generations curses that we get to trend. So maybe you dealt with emotional abuse as a child. A lot of people, we dealt with all of our trauma as a child, whatever that is, and growing up. It could be abandonment, parents working and making money and just leaving you with nannies, or it doesn't just have to be someone like me, you know what I mean? Like with, my thing was, divorce. And my mom had a kid young age. I think my grandma had kids young age. And so I broke that generational curse, is not having a kid at a young age, you know what I mean? And so, and just, just sex at a young age, you know what I mean? Like just all these just different curses, right? And so what it is you are able to break these off, okay? You are able to change the way for future generations, okay? And so you don't have to stay. That's what's so beautiful about, coming together and breaking these generations. What you normally go after, say, and God will do this, because, in your life, and when you're walking with the Lord and stuff like that, that He'll introduce something that's totally different, right? And that's just what happened. It's what's happening right now, and my connection with my person, and I know this person's called to break generational chains, you know what I mean, as well as I am. So it's like hit and miss, because we're both learning and to navigate, you know what I mean, like, and so but God is working it out so we could come together, and spiritual realm, you know what I mean, like, and break these chains going forward from our lives. And so anyways, I just wanted to speak on this. I just been sitting here talking to the Lord about it, and He's been just teaching me right now. And so talking about, how we get to change that, you know what I mean? And so He chose me, to do this. And so, what normally would be this way, I would go the other way. And it seems hard. Sometimes it feels like you're alone, like, and I know God is with you, you know what I mean? But like, it's paving the way to set new trends, okay? So you do not have to allow that going forward. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They have all this happen to them, and they get in this trauma, but they get to change that. You don't have to stay there. You get to choose to say, nope, I'm not doing this with my children, and I'm going this way. If you have children, or or even in your life, if you don't have children, you know what I mean? That you get to do the opposite. You get to make the choice. That's what's so cool, and in this relationship, there's so much, like I said, I must talk about our relationship with the Lord and stuff like that, is that He's teaching me, you know what I mean? Like, and in these generations and stuff like that, and that as I'm breaking these chains and making new trends and, doing different things, you know what I mean? And having the wisdom and career and not career, but my passion, that my mom didn't get to have and all that. I've broken that trend, you know what I mean? Like Jesus has been my passion, his knowledge, he's teaching me, he's giving me his anointing, you know what I mean? And so having kids at a young age, wanting to be in a healthy union together, all these things I'm breaking, you know what I mean? So I could go forward and give a beautiful show these little generations, my children, going forward, healthy habits, you know what I mean? And just teaching them, you get to, say, for instance, you have, you were, as a kid, told to shut up, you know what I mean? And, you don't get to share your feelings, or your feelings are invalid, right? And you were just, so taught to not share your emotions, right? And you grew up in your adulthood, and now you don't know how to, probably when you come across someone, maybe in a relationship or whatever it is, any relationship, and you feel this real authentic love, you don't know how to share that back, you know what I mean? And so these are things that the Lord's been showing me and people and stuff like that. And so you don't know how to, right? But this is where the generation comes, that you get to navigate with your relationship with the Lord, and then in the future relationships with your spouse and your children, you get to change that direction. And now you get to actually allow them to share, talk to your children about their emotions, have a dinner at the table. Like, one of my things is having dinner and talking, I love to cook, and I want to have, dinner for my family, you know what I mean? And I want to talk about their day, and I want, you know what I mean? These are things that I didn't get to have, or a lot of abuse. My mom tried, you know what I mean? She's a beautiful mother, don't get me wrong, but she went through a lot of trauma, you know what I mean? And divorce, and then my stepdad with the abuse in her life, but I just believe in these morals. I want to read books for my kids, I want to love them, I want them to have the, the bedtime, you know what I mean? Healthy bedtime at times. These are things at nighttime we had the cops at our house, we had to run across the street half the time because my mom's getting abused, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to share, these generational things that are breaking off, that you get to choose to break off of your life going forward, and make and set what you want going forward, you know what I mean? You don't have to, it doesn't have to continue, you know what I mean? And maybe you did have a kid at a young age, something like that, you get to break those on your children, you know what I mean? Or you get to break the trend on your life, you know what I mean? Whether you have kids or not, but you get to say what goes, you know what I mean? This is what's so beautiful about, this relationship, and the Lord navigates you through this relationship with him, and shows you in your walk, and then he enters into, relationships and children and all this stuff like that, the benefits and stuff. But of having this is that, I just really wanted to share that you can break those chains, you know what I mean? And we do not have to stay and continue those, you know what I mean? It's just oh yeah, it's my life or whatever. No, you get to break those chains. Yes. And this is where, again, work, you know what I mean? And doing the opposite, you know what I mean? What you had done to you, you know what I mean? And doing the opposite, you know what I mean? I'm gonna, my mom was never did, education or whatever, you know what I mean? And so my thing was, the Lord is giving me anointing to teach me, you know what I mean, what I need to know for my purpose and stuff like that. And so spiritually, and so anyways, just these generational curses, and then the generational blessings is where you get to make these new generational blessings, you know what I mean? Starting this, I'm starting this I'd never done before, YouTube, and I'm trusting the Lord and just taking the step of faith, and I'm gonna continue these videos and get better and better at how to do all of this. This is new to me, but it's new generational things that I'm doing for generational blessings to come, you know what I mean? And being able to leave my children with this beautiful memories and habits and healthy ways of expressing themselves, and healthy ways of living, and to see, for me in my life, I want my kids to know the value of people and their hearts, not the value of money and what we do. It's about the value of what we do with it, you know what I mean? Not how much we have, but and how it's done in our hearts, you know what I mean? And so that's something I really believe in giving my children, is that where are your hearts in giving that, you know what I mean? Because we could give, and it's just oh yeah, my good deed, but I want, for me, I want to teach my kids to give from their hearts, you know what I mean? This, I have only this much, but I want to give it to this person because I feel led to in my heart, you know what I mean? Like, and then just their passion for them, you know what I mean? Like, and just, these are just little things that, you know, ideas I show you. These are generational blessings that you get to pass on to your children and your family members. And it doesn't just have to have children, you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point is to have children, is that you're passing on good generational health, that you're breaking these chains and you're going forward. And that's why children, it's in the Word of God, you know, or they have all the names, you know, one after another, all their children, right? It's because we're passing on these generational blessings, and we're changing the ways and the past that the generational curses the enemy wants to continue down, is to continue doing these generational that don't now serve you, that continue leading down to deaths and families, like, you know, diabetes, all this. There's so many generational curses that you can pass down. Learning how to teach your kids to eat healthy so you don't pass on generational diabetes, or, you know what I mean? Like, all these different, it could be sicknesses, it could be so many different things. I just wanted to share this, you know, about generational curses and generational blessings and what that looks like in your life. And just and so, but that's what's so cool. I was just sitting here and I was just like, wow, you know, I know it's not been an easy road for me, and, you know, and he chose me, and I didn't choose it, you know, but it has to be done, you know, otherwise these generational curses can keep passing down. Mental health, he's been set me free from mental health and anxiety, depression, all these things I've broken, you know what I mean? Like, and to a healthy now mindset, and a healthy knowing how to express my feelings to the Lord and acknowledge them and heal from them right then, and then grow, you know what I mean? Like, and right away in this relationship. And that's why I'm able to just keep on fire with the Lord and stuff like that. It's because he's taught me through my relationship all these years, since I came really fully in effect in 2010 with him, is how to navigate these feelings, how to navigate myself, how to love myself too, before I go into a union and a relationship, and to acknowledge that I am worth, you know what I mean, like, as well, because I'm a giver, you know what I mean? It depends on who you are, what you are. I'm a giver, you know what I mean? I give, I love to do. That's just I don't know what they call the giftings, you know what I mean? Like, my thing is, my gift and my information is just words, speaking life into people and giving me, you know what I mean? Like, oh, let me do that for you. Oh, I got your laundry. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just, you know, always helping people. I just do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a doer, you know, action, you know, and my action, you know, makes me feel like loving people, you know what I mean? Action, you know, doing this for someone makes me feel affirmative, makes me feel good, you know what I mean? Like, wow, I love doing that for people, you know what I mean? Whether it's a friend or going forward in my union, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and then God teaching me also how to love myself, to know when to say no, and, you know what I mean, and what's healthy, and not just, oh, I love to give, right, and not give to myself, you know what I mean, because then it's going to eventually make you angry or bitter or whatever. But learning these things through their relationship with the Lord, and how to navigate, you know, and this is what he's been, you know, and breaking these generational curses, and this is so cool, you guys. And so I just wanted to share this video again about this generational curses and what I've been sitting here with the Lord and talking about, and how, like, you know, it has been a hard road spiritually, and I want better, you know, and for my next generations, and they don't have to go through the stuff I went through and the trauma, and, you know, and it's what's so beautiful that we can do that, you know, and you get to set the paveway and not let anybody interfere with that. And that's what's so beautiful about people not relying on people, but relying on this relationship. Because in this relationship, because unfortunately not everyone's for you, and most of the time, a lot of people, the closest people to them are the ones that are actually steering you the wrong way, and you know, it's sad, you know, but they're not for you, you know, and or they have envy, or the enemy latches onto them for envy, jealousy, or even a mom and a daughter, you know, and I've seen that so many times, and they're cussing at her because they didn't get the life that, you know what I mean, and now they're not the generational curses passing on, cussing at her, yelling her, telling her she's no good, you know what I mean, she's, you know, sleeping around, whatever it is, you know what I mean, like, and when, you know, get what I'm saying? And so when she could be breaking that cycle and not be doing that to her daughter, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just using an example, but these are the things that really happen. It just continues when we could actually break that cycle, you know what I mean? And you don't have to acknowledge that. You can acknowledge through your relationship with the Lord that, hey, this is what my mom or my dad or my foster parent, whatever it is, this is what happened to me, Lord, in my relationship. And he's going to navigate you through this relationship and give you the healing you need, and set those new trends for your life. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, and you can make everything. Like, maybe you come from adoption, maybe you come from whatever it is in your life. You get to make, that's what's so cool. So now you're 18 or whatever, you're an adult and you're on your own. You get to make the way now. Get what I'm saying? And you get to make healthy relationships. You get to make healthy boundaries. You get to make trends and excitement things. That's what's so cool about it. And good, what's good for your life. And the Lord will lead you that, and in your life, and what that looks like, healthy and just healthy for not just for you, but you're healthy for the world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really believe in just education. I believe in teaching values. You know what I mean? Like, and what matters that it's going to go in the world. That these really teaching my children, like, the value of people and how we speak to people, how we love people, how we, forgive people, and especially those that, are hurting and they have that pain, they hurt us, you know what I mean? Like, and just learning how to, not really judge, you know what I mean? And just to really love, you know what I mean? And that's one thing he's gifted me with, is to learn to love like Jesus, to learn to love like him. And so that's one thing that's so important to me, is teaching them, is to learn to love, and just to be able to be open, and I just always just I'm sorry. Whew. So I just wanted to do this video. Again, I'm just navigating through this, and starting my page and just talking about these relationships and the things in my journey, and in hopes to help others, and but yeah, and just like all the emotions, you guys can get all the raw emotions, all the things that that I just been going through. And so and yeah, God is so good, you guys. And so I just wanted to share that. So I hope this helps. Again, I don't know how this works. So I'm beginning, so I'm going to keep doing this and keep doing this and keep doing this, like it says in the beginning, and for everybody, you got to start somewhere. But in hopes to, just keep more followers, and you be my family, I'm your family. I'm just sharing my life and my journey in hopes to help others, and your walks and your relationship, and sharing this relationship that I had to go through by faith, and just the topics that the Lord and I talk about, and then just to share them, and as I go by, I'll get better and better and navigate the amount of time, and I'm working on all that. So, and like I said, you start somewhere and you learn, and it's not about having fear or the reaction. It's just action, just do it and trust God to continue leading you. I try to wait until I have all this going on in my mind, and like we're talking about it, and then I'll do a video, versus just speaking about anything. So, so now I was just talking about the last 2 hours about generationals. He was just speaking to me, all this information that goes in your head, and so that's what him speaking to you is, versus your thoughts, and just him navigating me and trying to teach me what he's doing, and how big, for me and the person that's coming into my life, and how much bigger than it is just a union. It's gonna help many people, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what a lot of these unions that God is doing right now, I believe in. I think we call them kingdom marriages, because they're actually gonna help a lot of people, you know what I mean? And they come from this past, you come from this past, and God's doing something new, and navigating the spiritual realm, right? So we can actually have purpose. It's more about purpose, bigger than me, bigger than my person, and actually gonna produce purpose and help many people, and so and we were chosen to do this, to break these off, to go through these, to learn, right? So that way we could teach it, and so, and this is what the anointing and the being chosen is about, you know what I mean? And ours is a lot about these toxic generational things that are just, we don't want no more, you know what I mean? Like, and so, and it just, like I said, it's not been an easy road, but I acknowledge it. I'm very thankful. I tell God every day I'm thankful, because I'm at this point now in my life, and very healthy, and my mind is very healthy, my inside's very healthy, and I need to start working out more. But anyways, I'm just healthy eternally. My mind is, that's what our mindset is healthy. That's what we're trying to, our mental health is healthy. That's what God wants to get us. We're healthier here. We always grub and eat good. I just like, I'm in my relationship, with the Lord. I love to go. He'll tell me, like, let's go eat here, let's go eat here, let's do this, you know what I mean? And you're just so comfortable in that relationship, and that's where he teaches you, so you can be in your union healthy, and navigate that in a healthy way and love yourself so you can love him as well, you know, or her, vice versa, you know what I mean, in a healthy way. And just taking all your main burdens to God. That's the whole point, because you don't have to leave that burden to your spouse. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, you're already giving that to him, and then he speaks to you and heals you from it, and then you just continue having this beautiful, and you talk to your spouse about it in your relationship with the Lord, and it's so healthy, you know what I mean? You're not putting that weight on him and making them feel like this is your problem, you know, or her, you know what I mean? Like, this is your problem, you need to help me solve it. And that's what God and this relationship is about, you know, so we could take our burdens and not to put them on our kids, our spouses, our family, or grandma, foster parent, whatever it is in your life, and that we could take this and put it on with the cross where he died for, you know what I mean? And because he could carry it, but all these people in our lives, we can't carry our burdens and our weights and our problems and, you know, depression or whatever we're going through. And so that's where we have to navigate in this relationship with Jesus, so we can learn, so he can teach us how to keep pouring into him on these heavy issues so he can heal us from them, and we don't take it into our relationships, which causes breakup, divorce, all this stuff like that. Or, you know, kids are dealing with all these, like me, dealing with all these issues as a parent, and you put it on your kid, and that's unhealthy for them. They shouldn't have to deal with that. They're children, you know what I mean? And so and that's, you know, it's so valuable, this relationship, that we learn how to lean on God in the relationship, so none of our issues in life goes on to all these people that are around us, you know what I mean? And these young kids especially, they get so much, you know, I know I was one of them, and my niece and nephews and stuff like that, and they get so much of this, you know, all their problems are put on these kids. I'm gonna cry. So much of their issues as grown-ups get put on these children, you know, and that's what breaks my heart, you know? And so, and they shouldn't be having to deal with this weight, because they're just young children, and then they grow up with these issues, okay, and God is so good that he'll help people navigate them, but they shouldn't have to, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's why this is so valuable, and this relationship is learning how to navigate it with him, so we can release our burdens to him and not put them on our children or our family members or our spouse or whoever it is in your life, you know what I mean? Like our work co-workers. And so anyways, I just want to share this, and like I said, this is just very emotional, because this is everything I've been through, you know, guys, and navigating it myself and learning it. And so that's why I just feel so important. I wanted to start this page and just to share this, you know, it's because so many people go through this, you know what I mean? And this is where he's talks about, you know, your promised land, you know what I mean? Like, and, you know, all these things I didn't go through for nothing. It's to help others, you know what I mean, that are having trouble, you know what I mean? Like, and to help navigate them into the right direction, you know, in this relationship with the Lord. And that's why I said, some people, oh, he's just a distant God. And no, I walked through this relationship since I first came to the Lord fully in 2010, and on alone, just me and him, you know what I mean? And, you know, navigating, you know, smoking, and just so many different things that he's broken off of me, you know what I mean? Sex outside marriage, and like, you know, all these things, different generational curses in my life, you know, and loving myself enough to say I am worthy of a beautiful love, healthy love, you know what I mean? And not this toxic love, you know? And so just all these things, you know, that I'm so thankful for. I look and I feel so protected, you know, and then not just that, having the enemy come against me, and on top of it, you know what I mean? I'm just focused on my relationship, you know, and so, and, you know, and that's where the enemy lies on people. He can use people envious, or they see where you're going. That could be, you know, again, family members, and, you know, all that, you know, they just pounce on you and do this and speak evil against you, you know. They don't speak the word of God and the truth against your life, you know. And anyways, but I just wanted to share that, and that we get to determine the outcome and in our lives, and we don't have to continue those generational curses, and we get to make new generational blessings. And so going forward in our lives, and it's so beautiful, you know what I mean? It's just so beautiful about life and your worth. You're so worth it, and you get to, going forward, to make these new trends, you know what I mean? And heal from this, you know, wounds that were caused by you as a child, you know what I mean? And even if you're an adult, still going into this relationship and having them heal this wounds, so that way you can go forward into this new life and new generation for yourself. And it's so powerful, and this is how real he is, to give you a whole new life. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, God bless you. I'm trying to work on these videos. I'm just being led, in my spirit. And so, but yeah, I'll get better. Like I said, I'm just learning to navigate and and the timing and all that. And so, again, just being led. I know in time, as I keep doing this and be consistent, people, I'll get some feedback and just, so God bless you. Have a great night. It is 1:30 on Labor Day. And so I'm going to try to lay down. I'm more of a nighttime person, so I process my thoughts, talk to God. You know what I mean? Just navigating through my life and my heart and everything that I've been through, you know what I mean? And turning that finally, I was so, even my adulthood and my kind of Lord, I started serving. And, this relationship that, I still, and learning though, but now learning how to really acknowledge and love myself even more, you know what I mean? And keep working on myself. And so I can be better for everybody else that comes in my path, that the Lord needs me, to help in life, and for my future little children and, my spouse, and just to be healthy and loving and caring. And I'm just excited, you guys. And I'm excited for all these people too, as I navigate, as I keep doing this. But please like and subscribe and keep following on this journey and navigating our, I don't know how to call it, with Jesus, this relationship and our healthy journeys together, and everything that's, been going on in our lives, and navigating it together, and in a healthy way, and positive and beautiful energy here, and nothing but beautiful energy and healthy going forward, and breaking these chains together, guys. I want to break these chains together. I want to help people break these chains off their life. I mean, it's so important, and produce. I just always have it on my Facebook page that it says, be the change you want to see in this world. And that's what I've been doing, and since I came to the Lord in 2010 in my relationship, is being the change, not just saying it, but being it and walking in it in this world. And now I just want to help and share my journey with others. And so, anyways, God bless you. Have a good night again. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.